that I've traveled. Okay. I know it's gotta hurt when you know you could have had a president. Guess that I would rather.
This is Madden 19. We've got what should be a great matchup between the Detroit Lions and the Green Bay Packers. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
We're at the oldest continually operating stadium in the NFL as you get a look inside Lambeau Field in Green Bay, Wisconsin. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Detroit Lions and the Green Bay Packers. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, we look at this Packer team as we enter play here. They've been buoyed by getting 2 home games right at the start, and they come off a good victory in Week 1.
And the offense, my goodness, over 50 points in the win last weekend. When you do that, you're not going to lose very many games, maybe not any games.
Meanwhile, for the Lions here, they come into this one after a loss in the opener, and they're in for another tough test here.
And what a battle for an organization to look at your schedule and see 2 road games to start the season and not have a letdown immediately. You got to fight against that. They've got to come out ready to play.
So here are the Lions now coming out for their opening drive. They'll be led out by a former Pro Bowl quarterback out of the University of Georgia, Matthew Stafford.
And it would be interesting to see pretty early in this one exactly where his head is, because the best quarterbacks shake off performances like he had last week. Way too many interceptions. Didn't throw a touchdown pass. Team lost the game. Let's see if he can bounce back and get things going in the right direction.
He'll be trying to forget those 3 picks, as you noted. And they'll run it here. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask.
Personal foul, face mask, defense.
So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it is going to be 15 yards.
So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. A shotgun snap for Stafford. And the big boys up front in the trenches. What do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. And they'll go on the ground. And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line. Kenny Clark, the big D tackle there to make the stop. We'll take a look at the starters here defensively for the Packers. They were terrific in the win over Tennessee a week ago.
And all defensive teams that I know talk about creating turnovers. Takeaways, they call them. And anytime you can get 2 or more in a game, you've had a really, really good performance. They exceeded that number in a big way.
So trouble already here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 9. Out of the gun, Stafford. Man open left side is Brown. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down. He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. So here comes the Packers offense now onto the field. And leading them, Charles, their quarterback, their field general.
And what's a quarterback's best friend?
Balance?
I think you're right. I agree with you. You know, a lot of guys would say great receiver, right? A terrific offensive line. But I agree with you, balance, because if you can run the ball effectively, that just opens things up for guys who want to throw it and gives you easier passing lanes and easier coverages to read.
And they said balance will be a focus in this one.
Yeah, they don't want it all just heaped on his shoulders, I don't believe. I think they want to make sure they take some of the pressure off.
And he'll wind up with about 6, up past the 30 to the 31. This running game's so important for them, and they know that. It helped lead them to a victory last week when he was over 100 yards.
Let's face it, it's their identity, and that's what they want to play to. They want to be that team that runs the ball really well each and every week, and right now we're seeing a pretty good pattern of that happening.
The numbers for Walker from last week's effort. There isn't a coach alive who wouldn't like those numbers. Well over 100 yards and a touchdown, too.
Partner, I think all the coaches who are in that great coaching box in the sky would take those numbers.
So dead or alive?
Either way, they would take that kind of production.
That's going to be caught. Touchdown, Packers. A big play there. His first touchdown of the new season. And the Packers have taken the early lead. They scored the most points of anyone on opening weekend, and now first quarter touchdown here.
And while there's no guarantee that all the points they scored in opening weekend are going to hold up and be the average all year long, they're certainly starting to set that type of a pace. And what you do with that is you put in the heads of all of your opponents, we've got to really be ready on defense because these guys know how to put the ball in the end zone.
You think they can keep piling on the points like this?
I think they can if they're prepared to adjust and adapt because they won't see the same defenses week in and week out.
Crosby connects on the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And it ends with a Packers touchdown. Crosby on now to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And Detroit getting set to go now. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trite expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
This will be a 2-yard loss on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 12. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. They'll fake the give. Now Stafford. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
Two-sack to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
And a few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point. After the sack, Stafford and the Lions come up on a 3rd and long situation. From the gun, here's Stafford. Oh, a hit. He lost the football. Stafford puts it on the ground, and the Packers pick it up. And 1st and goal is what it will be at the 6-yard line. Excellent field position.
Well, that's a down and distance coaches always talk about trying to avoid, isn't it? I mean, that's 3rd and long, and you just know they're pinning their ears back and coming after him, sometimes even with extra pressure.
And he knew that. I mean, he knew they were coming. He just fumbled it.
Yeah, he knew it. The offensive line knew it. Everyone did, yet the pressure was still there, and he ended up coughing it up.
A first red zone opportunity now for the Packers. They've got a 1st and goal to go at the 7. Following the fumble recovery, Knight buying time to his left. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. He'll get 3 yards on the scramble there at 2nd down. So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal. From the gun, Knight steps away to his left. And he's got it. It's caught for a Packers touchdown. As his guys are in for 6. And the Packers add on to their lead. Still first quarter, 2 receiving touchdowns for him. How are they going to slow him down?
I think they're thinking about altering their game plan. Whatever they came in with, now maybe you switch a better cover guy to him. Or you make sure you have more people in his general area wherever he lines up to at least try and discourage them from throwing the ball to him.
Crosby with the extra point, and it's now 14-0. Well, that drive started with not a whole lot of real estate in front of them. In plus territory, excellent field position. 2 plays later, pay dirt. Crosby on now to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And Detroit getting set to go now. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it into the basketball world. And when you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first.
I have to admit, I'm excited by that play call and the end result, because this is a team that's down big early in the first quarter, and a lot of teams will just panic, abandon the playbook, and just start firing the ball all over the place. It's way too early for that. Stick to what works for you.
Down double digits, and the Packers give him nowhere to go, and they bring him down.
Well, that's a pretty darn good start to his season, huh? A sack in the opener, adds a second one here. That tells you about his offseason. He came in determined to have a big year, and it's paying off.
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. Only 2 yards on the carry. That's going to set up a 3rd and long, 3rd and 15 to be exact.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
Picked off by Jair Alexander. And they will score. It's a Packer touchdown. Make it back-to-back weeks now with a pick 6 for him. He had one a week ago.
Talk about being in the groove, and what are the odds of what we're seeing right here? You don't see it happen very often. Listen, if you get a pick 6 in a season, it's been a big year, let alone back-to-back weeks. I'll tell you this, I wouldn't play cards against this guy in the locker room.
Now Crosby for the point after. Extra point up and good by Crosby. And it's now 21-0. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. So out now come the Lions. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
Well, you're down early. How do you get back in the game, maybe establish the run? I think they're trying to do that.
Now, I'm with you on that one, and what I like about the message is that there's no panic from the head coach. He's already told his offensive coordinator, let's run the football. Let's get things settled down a little bit and find our way back into this game.
And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags.
Personal foul, face mask, defense.
Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that would look pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he caught it.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. Back to throw, Stafford. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up third. And some... Concerns caused him to slip to the 5th round. I guess if you're him, the good news is you kind of flew under the radar. Maybe expectations are... low, you could come in and prove something.
And a lot to prove, because those off-field concerns that creep in on you, you want to prove that they're all wrong, that they don't matter, that you are a much better player than what people picture.
They added a lot of... talent to a roster that really needed an infusion of youth. They got a very good infusion of youth.
And they didn't really reach to get anyone as well. They stuck to their draft philosophy, got the best players they could at the time they were drafting, and inserted them into their lineup.
To throw is Stafford. They'll find a man over the middle. It's Galladay. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game. But it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go up and make the tackle right away.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And the window closes quickly. He'll only get up to the 22-yard line. Nevin Lawson there on the tackle.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you've got to continue to try and run and try and keep the defense honest.
You mean or also just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. Now it looks like we'll get a timeout, and we will. We've got an injured Packer on the field. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. And on the ground they go with a running back. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
I like the look that they just showed there. When you come out in a passing formation, spread things out a little bit, makes it really hard to cover the middle of the field, doesn't it? Because you got to go out to the perimeter and cover those guys.
Yep, exactly. Got some good blocking, too. Helped him pick up the first. Dancing to his left. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. Another nice gain, 16 yards there, and a 1st down again.
I think the last two plays really illustrate how difficult it is to game plan against this guy because you know he can throw the football, but how about his use of legs as well? What we call those broken plays, you can't account for them.
Yeah, those plays, those two that you just mentioned, a microcosm really of how he can hurt you. And after getting tackled, he's still down and looking very slow to get up. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. On the ground, this is Derrick Henry. And shedding through the tackle. And here a juke. Touchdown, Packers. Derrick Henry, his second touchdown on the season. And the Packers add 6 to their lead. Good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week in the opener and a second one in week 2 now.
How about the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but don't burst the bubble because he thinks that he can.
Do guys go into a season with a goal for touchdown scored or yardage? What do you think?
I think every single one of the guys who's going to touch the football, they all have those types of goals. They all have those types of thoughts. And then they just have to see how the season unfolds if they can stay with it.
Unfolding so far so good for him. Extra point try now for Crosby. Crosby connects on the extra point, and a route is on here in this first half. A drive that time of 6 plays, and Derrick Henry able to finish it off with a touchdown run. Crosby on now to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Now the Lions offense, they drive, but they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, normally, you know me. I mean, you've been around me for a while now, right?
Unfortunately.
I'm sorry about that. But normally, I'm the one preaching patience.
Yeah.
You know?
Packer pressure, and down he goes. Clay Matthews. He's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year. Well, for last week's performance, which was so good, he was named NFC Defensive Player of the Week. He got a lot of praise, and understandably so, from national media. Looking pretty good on that play, too.
And I love what he told us this week before the game. He talked about how much time they spend working on pass rush moves, every position, because anyone could go after the quarterback in their defense, and you can see how they've all absorbed their lessons.
Play action to Stafford. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more.
One thing that I liked about this guy during the draft process was his motor. Of course, I loved his skills, but he plays hard on every down.
And that motor on full display there as he gets his first NFL sack. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
No run call here. They'll look to throw instead. And this is going to be incomplete. Well, shame on them, Coach Davis. They went against your advice. They threw the football, and now they're backed up to punt this away.
They're actually fortunate. They went against my advice, but they didn't turn it over, right? No takeaway for the defense. They'll punt it now. They probably could have gained a few yards if they ran it there and helped out the field position.
Muscling free near the 40. Well, he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40.
Illegal block in the back. Return team.
Penalty stings big time there. Wipes away a very good return.
And they work out it so hard because the goal is give yourself some space for your offense to really work. Try and gain an additional first down outside the 20 or 25-yard line. Instead, this one's going to come back.
And just a short gain that time as they're able to get him down. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Good solid gain on first down, about what you'd expect from the big guy carrying the ball.
On 2nd down, here's Henry. Got some real estate inside the 30. Touchdown, Packers! Derrick Henry with his second touchdown in this opening quarter. And the Packers are pouring it on. Crosby with the extra point, and a rout is on here in this first half. It only took him 2 plays there to find the end zone. The last one, the long run, getting him in for 6 points. Crosby on now to kick it away. This fielded at the 2. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. The Lions offense, they get ready to head back onto the field. And last drive, 3 and out. Still a goose egg on the scoreboard. How do they break that goose egg?
They've got to find a way to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers, get them some space, and try and make a first down and get some momentum going. It's been a struggle for them throughout the game, and that 3 and out on the last possession, that told you just how stalled they are on offense.
So who will step up here? We'll see. They'll run it now out of the gun. Space to maneuver at the 40. And a nice carry there of 15 yards. Getting the sense, Charles, they're going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far, it's working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
And he'll push his way up to about the 44 here. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
Now a first carry for their fullback. And he tries to power forward, but he will not get back to the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
After a play like that, there should be congratulations all the way around, I think, because if you can stop a big fullback like that, that's not easily done.
Yeah, he does not go down easily, you're right, but he did there. And that is incomplete. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again, just like last week. Each game is its own entity, treated as such.
The Packers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
To throw from his end zone. Knight going for the deep ball. So they took a shot on 1st down, but couldn't connect. That was close to a big play, and just a little bit too far that he was led. He caught it, but couldn't stay in bounds, Charles.
Yeah, I'm not very good at these sort of things, but I have to believe the farther you are downfield, the less your margin for error in throwing the ball, correct?
Yep.
Yeah, so they gave it a good effort there. Really tried, just couldn't complete it.
And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
So their move is to decline that so they don't get another 2nd down. It'll be 3rd.
So that has to tell us that they're pretty confident in their 3rd down defense, right?
Absolutely.
Whether it's a sub package or nickel package, whatever they want to run out there, they feel like they can defend here on 3rd down.
And they'll bring him down right around the 13. They'll get 6 there on the run, but it brings up 4th down.
Now there's a good chunk of yardage picked up there, and the big fella, sometimes he doesn't need a whole lot of space created. He can make his own way.
They'll run. It's Henry. And he will have the first down here as he's up to the 15. A big roll of the dice on 4th and 1, but it pays off. They convert.
And on 4th and 1 as a running back, you're looking for any seam you can find. This is not where you want to be a hero and break off a big one. You just need to make sure you get that yard. And here he picks up the first down with a couple of yards to spare.
The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter about to get underway with the Packers in possession of the football. And they've got it here with a first down. Off play action. Knight flush to his right. Now he's going to throw deep right side. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. It's a big play that time for the Packers. And even 40 yards.
And I knew he was pretty dangerous if he got outside, and he just showed it right there. Pretty good arm, too.
So the big play moves him all the way across midfield. It's 1st and 10 from the 45. From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well.
I know a lot of times we like to put players in certain boxes. He does this and he does that. But this guy, he can do a little bit of everything. He's not just a lead blocker or a guy who protects the passer. Handing the ball, he might want to get out of the way.
A first down carry for Henry. They find some open field here. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
Looking to throw. Knight. And incomplete on the deep ball.
The way he's been slinging it in the first half, you expect everything he throws to go for a touchdown, but I guess he's going to have to wait to try and pick up that third, isn't he?
Yeah, I thought he had him for a second, but you're right, not to be.
Lucky 56. Lucky 56.
A give to Henry. Twisting away. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And now they're going to get him down right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Trying to punch it in with Henry. And a second effort gets him in. Touchdown, Packers. Derrick Henry on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Packers continue to roll. This is becoming quite the half he's had here.
Remember in our pregame meetings, they talked about wanting to run the football and staying with it. Well, when you're scoring this many touchdowns, there's no reason to go away from it, is there? They are off to a fantastic start. They hope it continues.
3 already for it. Extra point up and good by Crosby. And a rout is on here in this first half. Crosby on now to kick it away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case. That play got bottled up.
He'll get this one to Galladay. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A really good pickup of 28 yards. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Jair Alexander. And a return out shy of midfield to the 46-yard line. He's at it again, Charles. He had the pick 6 last week. Not a pick 6 here, but an interception.
Hey, it's another Oski, because that's the word we use when we intercept a pass. Oski tells your team to rally around and block for you. Well, that worked really well last week because he had made it all the way to the end zone. This week, he got the Oski, maybe not a touchdown, but, boy, he's playing really well.
Derrick Henry trots back out there and gets ready to go. Well, there you see it. A hat trick of touchdowns, and we're in the first half. I'm betting that he was over there saying, feed me.
Yeah, there's no doubt.
I got to eat.
There is no doubt, and he's real hungry right now, isn't he? I mean, let's be honest about the whole thing. We don't have to be on the field to understand what he's telling everyone. Give me the ball. We're locked in with the offensive line. They're taking care of business, and I'm finishing things off.
Well, heck, he might be able to turn this into an historic event. We'll see. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
Well, after that pickup of a 1st down, I think some of the defensive guys are going to be looking over their coordinator and saying that was not in the scouting report. That went against every tendency most teams have. You don't usually hand the ball to your big guy in that situation. Sometimes you catch them by surprise.
Detroit! 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 Detroit!
Now a handoff to Henry. And now running right through it. And he's taken down inside the 30. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
And that is intercepted on the sideline. Wait, no. They'll say no. It was caught out of bounds. So this is just an incompletion here. Well, he's been the guy already over 100 yards here in the first half. Could have had a lot more if he would have been able to haul that one in.
Yeah, in fact, our statistician Marvin was already handing me a piece of paper with that yardage totaled on it. He thought that catch was going to happen just as you and I did as well.
That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
Watching that run takes me back to something a famous old coach once said. Any player he wants on his team, he wants him to be agile, mobile, and most definitely hostile.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, that's not a run that's going to make any of the highlight tapes, but they've been moving it well all game on the ground. This is another one that keeps them moving forward.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
To throw on 2nd down. Knight, and that is incomplete.
Trying to get that one to his tight end, and they've been trying to get the ball to him, but as of yet, unable to successfully complete one. But you know, there's usually a nice comfort zone in throwing to the tight end. Great sight lines, usually right in the middle of the field.
Back to throw. Knight being chased out left. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Now that's disappointing for the defense. They had the advantage, had excellent coverage all over the field, but they let him get away, scramble, and pick up a 1st down, and inside the 5-yard line.
They'll try and run for it with Henry. And he gets halfway home from the 4 down to the 2-yard line.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. Here's another 1st and goal, but from a little further back this time following the penalty.
Over!
After the penalty, it's Henry. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
So now then the penalty's got him set up with a first and goal.
Patriot! Patriot!
Tim carry now for Derrick Henry. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. A pickup of 4 on first down. It'll be second and goal. From the 2 now, second and goal.
Detroit! Detroit!
He'll get it up the middle. And this is not going to do it as he stopped at the 2-yard line. Call it no gain that time, and now it's third and goal.
Detroit! Detroit! All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
On third and 2, Knight. Touchdown, Packers. Derrick Henry on his way, pouring it on. Well, he wasn't the guy they were initially going for, but after going through the progressions, it worked.
When you have plenty of people who can catch the football, you don't always have to go to your primary target, and sometimes that target is actually covered. Nice job coming off of that and getting it to someone who was open.
And the man out of the backfield gets in for the score. Crosby connects on the extra point, and a rout is on here in this first half. A pretty long drive that time, 11 plays all told. And the result, a Green Bay score. Fielded about a yard deep. So here come the Lions now. And 2 pits thrown here in this first half alone. We'll see how that affects him.
Can't wait to see where his confidence is, because the great ones, they'll throw 4 or 5 picks, and while it'll hurt their team, it won't hurt their confidence. They'll think something was just wrong with the ball or the wind or something was funny. It's never about them. That's how they stay so into the moment and into the game.
And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
Charles, I know it's hard when live bullets are flying, but you cannot keep your hand up around the face mask area.
It is absolutely inexcusable nowadays. We talk about target areas all the time. You have to aim lower so that your hand doesn't get involved in the face mask.
There he goes inside the 30. And all the way down to the 5. A big hitter. That one goes for 40 yards. We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that one looked like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the second level, because sometimes he'll break off the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the second level, which gets you...
And he's going to take it in for a Lion touchdown. Nick Bawden, his second touchdown on the season, and the Lions gain a bit of respectability. Well, they weren't messing around. First and goal, they don't do anything fancy. They just go to the fullback right away.
I like how you phrase that, because oftentimes they come back to the fullback when it's late in the down and distance count, right? In this case, first down, let's go get it right now.
And he got it, 6 points on the board. Stephen Hauschka for the point after. Hauschka with the extra point, and they get a bit of a respite here from what's been an otherwise dreadful first half of football. Martin, the punter, now out to kick it away. And we spotlight Derrick Henry now. We're in the second quarter. They've got the lead. The lead, though, not so much because of the ground game, because of their air attack, Charles.
So what they're seeing so far is the possibility of things loosening up later in the ground game. Through the air first, maybe they have to start respecting that even more as the game goes on, and then there will be running lanes to find later.
Yeah, try to get him more involved here on this drive, maybe. They'll start on the ground. It's Derrick Henry. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll bring up a second and just about a few inches here.
Partner, I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run.
They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
I remember watching Derrick Henry come out of Alabama and sitting with some scouts, and one of the debate points with him was, while at Bama, how often did he have to deal with contact near the line of scrimmage? They were so good up front that he often got to the second level pretty easily. I think he's starting to answer those questions with runs like that. He's a physical guy.
Derrick Henry, and they'll stop him right on the midfield stripe. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Throwing right, and that's complete. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. This quarterback now 6 of 10 in this first half. He's got his guys a first down here. Off the play fake. Knight. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
The 3 red zone trips, 3 touchdowns so far. They'll look for a 4th on 2nd and goal. Back to the ground now. It's Henry. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 2nd and goal. They'll give it to him up the middle. Showed off the toughness, but still corralled shy of the 5 at the 6. The Packers on 3rd down. They've been near perfect, 4 for 5 to this point. They're looking at a 3rd and goal here. Looking to throw. Knight flushed out right. He can run for it, and he will. He opted to go with a scramble, gets 2 yards, and now it's 4th. This offense converted once on 4th down earlier. Now they're out there again to try once more.
No. Check. Patriot.
They'll run for it with Henry. And he'll take this one in for a Packer touchdown. Derrick Henry taking it in from 4 yards out. And the Packers continue to roll. And that rushing touchdown is 4th, puts him just 1 shy of the NFL record in a single game.
And we all know he would love to get to that record and even beyond it. But he doesn't need to in order to impress in this one, does he? What a performance. What an absolute great game that he's had here in this one.
Now Crosby for the point after. Crosby with the extra point, and a rout is on here in this first half. Crosby on now to kick it away. This one taken just inside the 10. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. And after getting tackled, he's still down and looking very slow to get up. We'll check on his status when we get back. Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 right at the 30.
Hey, 4 down. Set. Yellow 20. Hey, Mike's 50, Mike's.
Now a play fake and it's Stafford. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
That would have been a great catch, but really difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
Set. Red 80.
They'll fake it. Now Stafford. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long.
Tie it right. Set. Lady.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And very little room to maneuver. He'll get this down to about the 39. It's a gain of a yard, and it takes us to the 2-minute warning. A reminder coming up at halftime, we'll head to Orlando. Standing by there, Jonathan Coachman. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL in his 2nd week of the regular season. They'll try and run with their fullback. Trying to keep those big legs churning, but he's going to go down in the backfield. Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play. And it'll be 4th down. Here's Sam Martin now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. Oh, he'll field it in the end zone. It's a nifty return of 29 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10.
Lucky 56. Check 99. Check 99. Over.
From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. A solid stiff arm. They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a 1st down.
That guy's going to want the football a whole lot more. I'd hate to be the offensive coordinator now, because all he's going to say is, how come I'm not touching it more? Do you see me out there moving around, wiggling and making it happen? Give me the ball, coach.
So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. All right, now, lucky 56.
On 1st down, Knight. He can't get him down. Now he's flushed out right. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's 2nd down.
Now, that was not a bad scramble there on 1st down. He didn't force it, nor did he throw it away. He was able to take off, and now he made it a very manageable 2nd and short.
Henry will get it. He's been busy today. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs. Well, he's broken off some big-time runs here in this first half.
Yeah.
Goes down. So they're able to sack him. Now the penalty looks like it could be holding. Let's find out.
Offense.
So they will take the sack instead of the penalty.
And it takes another down off the series. But the biggest one of all, do you want to tell the guy who just got the sack that it no longer counts?
No.
No, not at all.
Sliding out of the pocket. And he's going to go down again. Damon Harrison breaking through to get him for a loss of 7.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things has gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down. So hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down.
Pass interference. Defense.
Thought they were going to force a fourth down. Instead, P.I. gives them the first.
And that's frustrating because you think you've taken them really deep into the count, haven't you? Instead, you've got to start all over. That can really, really be demoralizing.
Now Williams. And he stopped immediately there. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. This is a 49-yard attempt, right hash. And this one is going to just tuck into the bottom left corner as he gets it to go. So we're at halftime here at Lambeau with the Packers taking the lead to the break. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, we'll get you back to you and Charles in a bit. But first, it's time for a trip around the NFL following an eventful opening weekend. Let's see what's happening in Week 2. We'll begin up at U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. And as you see, they were winners back on Thursday night. 17-12 was the final. From there, we head over to MetLife Stadium to check in on the Jets. And for the moment, they find themselves trailing the visiting Cincinnati Bengals. Andy Dalton with 2 touchdown passes there. Lastly, let's get you to Charlotte, North Carolina. Check on the Panthers at home at Bank of America Stadium. And for the moment, they trail the visiting Saints in that one. Dez Bryant, a touchdown reception. Meanwhile, our game has been a boat race. Very one-sided to this point. And for the call of the second half, let's get it back to our commentating team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Martin, the punter, now out to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Packers offense now heading back out onto the field. They had a big first half. Now they have a chance to add to that lead here in the opening possession of the second half.
And everyone always asks about halftime adjustments, kind of the key phrase. What did you do at halftime? Well, the way they ran offense in the first half, I think they were very calm, congratulatory, but also what they were saying is, don't expect them to be the same on defense. They'll be the ones making the adjustments. Let's see what they do, and we'll attack accordingly.
And we'll see how they attack here. They'll come up now, 2nd and 4 from the 31. From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
Now, how about that call handed to the big guy in that situation? Normally you think of him as a real short yardage runner, but in this case they trust him to get a few more yards than that. I remember an old New York Giants quarterback, a Super Bowl winning quarterback, telling me he loves offense coordinators who call the plays with a little bit of abandon. Usually the big fella's a blocker, a lead back, but he gets the ball on first down. What a surprise for everyone. And as a former safety, if he breaks into the secondary and you see him coming, you just know that's a whole lot of man you've got to deal with now.
So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 46. From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. As he's got this down inside the 40 to the 39. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
They've definitely established a rhythm on this drive, moving the ball quite well. And big man with football is an integral part of the whole thing.
From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. And trying to push forward, but he is going to be stuffed up in the backfield. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and just like that, it's 3rd down.
Ashawn Robinson coming out of the University of Alabama, a big, physical, intimidating force who had to learn to play with more leverage. Otherwise, he's going to get blown off the ball in the NFL. Looks like he's learning his lessons after that play.
And 12 yards that time and picking up the first.
Well, partner, what do you think? Might have been 4-down territory if they didn't pick it up, but
Yeah, it's a moot point now. I was curious, so if they didn't get it there, would they have gone for it? I guess we'll never know.
Yeah, we didn't have to make that call, but I have a feeling both of us would have said, go for it.
Delay of game, offense.
And that'll set them back 5. Now they need 15 yards on this series after the delay of game. 1st and 15. Off-play action. Knight escapes the sack. But he can't get away forever, and down he goes. The man they call Snacks, Damon Harrison, in there to get him his 2nd sack now of the afternoon.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front, nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a 3rd and long situation coming up.
But he was stopped on that play, but he's had plenty of carries all afternoon. Every now and then the defense is going to win one, but I don't think they'll shy away from handing it to him the rest of the game.
Eluding the pressure right. Going right side here, and that's complete. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. Despite a pickup of 16, they're still well short of the sticks on 4th.
I don't know how many times, not just in my playing career, but you and I working together, have we ever heard a coach say, you know, I just don't have that play on my call sheet. And that's really what we had here. That was a big hole they were trying to get out of.
Yeah, big gain, still a ways to go, though. Give them credit. They knew what they wanted to dial up on 4th. They executed it for 9 yards, and the offense stays out there. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They're really locked in on offense.
And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. It's a good gain of 11. Sets him up 1st and goal.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive. Because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense gets a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. He'll get it up the middle. And they'll get him down here at about the 5-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal. They'll give it to him up the middle. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. Give him right around 4 on the carry. We'll see if they want to keep pounding here on 3rd and goal.
Watch you now, Barney.
Here's Henry. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
So reverse the celebration. We'll see if they have something else in their bag of tricks.
And isn't that always tough to watch when they score and you see the excitement and then when they realize those points aren't going to count? Can they get it back to...
And he's going to be dropped. Back at the 15-yard line. Noah Spence in there to get him for a loss of 3, and it'll be 4th down.
3rd and goal, they decided to throw for it, but how about the play defensively? Couldn't find anyone open, left them nowhere to go with the football, had to absorb the sack.
Now that will go down as a 15-play drive, and it results in 3 points. So some disappointment?
It's funny, we had our conference before the game with the offensive coordinator, and what did he tell us? I just want every drive to end in a kick, right? An extra point, a punt, or a field goal. Well, in this case, I think it is a little bit of a disappointment because it did end in a kick, but that type of a drive should end in the end zone.
And he nearly broke that for more, but as it is, they'll start this drive at about the 37-yard line. So we get a look at the Lions offense as they get ready for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game, a chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
Now Stafford. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Offensively, they're going to have to figure this out before next week. 7 sacks in one game.
Yeah, and that's more than any quarterback should have to bear. And if this continues on, there will be another quarterback in the game because no one can stand up to this week after week.
Now Stafford, open man is Galladay, complete. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. They'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for third down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
Throwing on third down, Stafford. He's going deep, and he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off by Jair Alexander. And a very good return as he'll take it all the way up to the 40-yard line. So now he's equaled his interception total from a week ago. Remember, Charles, he had 3 last week.
And you know, all week long he vowed to take that number down. Told the guys on the team, don't worry, things are going to pick up. I've got this. But he is in a major league rut right now. Let's see if his teammates can pick him up along the way.
You're right. He talked about being cool, calm, collective, rebounding. Not rebounding right here. The Packer offense now ready to get back onto the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
So that one will be accepted.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They'll run with Henry. A pretty nice gain there on the run. Gets it to the 35 after showcasing the agile move. Denzel Perryman there to bring him down.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
Looking to throw on second down. Knight escaping the pressure right. And he's got this almost to the 40 before going out.
There was a definite passing down, but he was able to leak out and pick up some good yardage, even though the coverage was excellent. Maybe it's not exactly how they drew it up, but he still got a big chunk of yardage on second down.
Flush to his right. He may try and run for this. Able to make something out of nothing there. 17 yards and a first down.
Containing him is becoming a big problem. We've already seen this once earlier on this drive.
Yeah, and so now 2 times this has happened. Do you adjust something?
Yeah, I think you do. I think you got to start thinking about your rush lanes. Try not to either get too wide or too narrow. Make sure someone is there waiting for him to take off.
Now it's Henry. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. It's a 4-yard pickup there, and it leaves him with 3rd and 5.
And that was a good collision right there. And I know this as a former defender. If you're playing linebacker, you're going through a checklist on every play on who you think's going to get the ball and where you think the ball's going to go. Rarely do you expect the fullback position to get it. Not where you did. So you got to steel yourself at that point because the contact is going to be strong.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this third and long play as we'll get a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. The Packers on third down. They're hitting at 60%, 6 out of 10 thus far. This is going to be 3rd and 13. This is Henry. And he's going to be met at about the 43. Give him 3 yards there as that'll take us to 4th down. On 4th down, Knight. And they will not be able to hook up there. It's incomplete. The Packers unable to pick up the first. And the Lions will take over. And he'll have a tough time living that one down. It's one thing, Charles, to drop a pass. It's quite another to drop it on 4th down.
And so many teams work on that in terms of locking in on those key downs. You know, I've seen, you and I both been to practices where we've seen, hey, 3rd down situation, big 3rd down alert, lock in here, 4th down play, make sure you're focused just a little bit extra. It didn't pay off in that situation.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue.
Man, these guys may not win this ball game, but you certainly can't fault the effort of this man here today. He's been a real thorn in their sides all afternoon. And that last carry puts him over the 100-yard mark.
Off of play action, here's Stafford. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. A gain of 6 there on first. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he was unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Back now at Lambeau. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair.
4 down. Set. 180.
Here's Stafford now on 2nd down. His throw incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
From the gun on 3rd down, Stafford. And this is going to be incomplete.
Sometimes it's just not your day. There's another failure right there on 3rd down.
Field goal forthcoming for Stephen Hauschka. From the left hash, it's a 42-yard attempt. And Hauschka's kick is good. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
Off the play fake. Knight. Flushed out right. Now he'll let it go deep right side. And got his man complete. Give him 35 yards there on the 3rd down conversion. They have the nice cushion. They just want to pour it on right now, still throwing the football.
And I know my background says, why do you need to do this? Just go ahead and run out the clock and get a win. but as many people pointed out to me, it's a video game, man. Go ahead and put the numbers up. Sportsmanship, not an issue.
Exercise those fingers. Now a handoff. Here's Williams. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Eluding the pressure right. It's caught outright by Graham. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
And they just had another big completion there. And I think in days gone by in the NFL, you might have asked, is this a little bit of overkill? Is this rubbing it in? I don't think people feel the same way nowadays.
It's the age-old argument. Then you could say on the other side, if you're going to get angry about it, stop it, right?
Go ahead and stop me. And I think a lot of the time they just look at it like, let's just play the game. And however it turns out, it turns out.
That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down. A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's second and 12. A tough run gets him just inside the 10 to the 9, but no further. That's what they needed. It's an 8-yard gain, and now 3rd and 4 suddenly doesn't look so bad.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
Forced out to his left. And he will have the first down before he's brought down at the 3. It's a gain of 6 as they're able to convert, and now it's 1st and goal.
These type of plays are backbreakers for a defense. They thought they had him hemmed in, thought they were going to get him on the ground with the pass rush, but were unable to do so. He gets away, picks up a big first down, and sets up 1st and goal inside the 10.
And with the play clock winding down, we're going to get a timeout. That's going to leave them with just 1 remaining here in this 4th quarter.
Now, Barney!
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. Now he goes spin. And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal.
No. Check. Patriot!
They get it to him running left. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Green Bay touchdown. Derrick Henry taking it in from 4 yards out. And the Packers are pouring it on. So another score there. Often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. Extra point try now for Crosby. Extra point up and good by Crosby. And that will extend this big lead. Crosby on now to kick it away. This fielded at the 2. Here's the Lion offense now as they get ready to take over. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. They're throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. The Lions on third down. It has been a disaster. 0 for 8 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Operating from the gun, Stafford. And Jones has it over the middle. And he showcases the spin. A pretty good gain before he's taken down. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. Here's Sam Martin now as he's on to punt for Detroit. This will be fielded at the 17. A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. Derrick Henry trots back out there and gets ready to go. I guess it kind of goes without saying at this point, but he's had a great game, as we like to say, a nose for the end zone, no doubt.
Continues to find it throughout this game, and I'm sure he's got a nice place to live. He might want to make an offer on the end zone for a second home, because that's what it's been like throughout this contest. He knows how to get there, and boy, he looks happy when he does.
He's already bought all the property in the end zone. That's the problem. He's going to sell to himself now. Again, it's Henry. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively, because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Able to make something out of nothing there. 17 yards and a 1st down.
We just saw a nice example of why teams often bring in baseball guys to teach quarterbacks how to slide in key situations. You want to protect your franchise guy. Make sure he doesn't get hurt. He did exactly
under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 46. Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result? Quarterback gets hit.
After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. It'll be a pickup of 12 yards. And all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down. The 1st down line at the 34 here on 3rd down. From the gun, Knight. Escaping the pressure right. Fighting through pressure. And he's taken to the ground, but he was pulled down by the face mask. Here come the flags. And I believe this is going to be a 1st down.
Foul. Face mask. Defense.
They're down here in the 4th, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration. Not a good play.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get about 3 as he's brought down to the 28.
Not much happening there on 1st down.
I thought there might have been a hole for a split second.
Yeah, but it dried up pretty quickly, didn't it? Closed fast.
Watch him now, Barney! Barney! Gun!
They'll run it again with Henry. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. Call it a gain of 5 there on the run, but they'll remain a yard or 2 short here with 3rd down coming up. Operating from the gun. Knight, complete. Richardson has it. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
When you have someone throwing it that well, that confidently, You don't have to call the game in fear at all, do you? You just go ahead and play.
Yep, confidence with a lead to throw it here in the fourth, and boom, he's on the money.
Yeah, you don't have to tuck your head in and take him to like turtle at this point. You can just go ahead and play.
They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And the D not yielding much there. He's only going to get a yard to about the 2. From the 2 now, second and goal. They get it to him running left. And he tried to bounce it outside, but they'll stop him behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down. They'll try to run for the first with Henry. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. A 5-yard loss there is going to bring up fourth down. The pitch to Henry. And he will not even make it back to the line of scrimmage. They'll get neither the touchdown nor the first down. And the Lions will take over. So we were looking at each other up here in the booth when they went for that saying, oh, wow, talk about trying to add insult to injury.
Some teams are just like that. You know, some philosophies, some coaches are like, look, when I got a chance to put some more points on the board, I don't care what the situation, I'm going to do it. And they're also the same coaches as a general rule that if someone does it to them, you won't hear a people protest out of them. That's just who they are. I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
It's a short one here, complete to the tight end.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense.
Maybe a frustration penalty there because he's picked them apart.
They've tried their best to get to him and haven't done it successfully. A penalty as a result of that hit there.
So now a fresh set of downs, 1st and 10 after roughing the passer. From the gun, Stafford, throw left side, taken in by Galladay. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense.
So they will accept the penalty and move forward. So now a fresh set of downs, 1st and 10 after roughing the passer. Operating from the gun, Stafford. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off near the 42. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offense coordinator, quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
And we spotlight Derrick Henry now. He is north of 200 yards. Any time that you can say you're north of 200 yards, you've done something right.
Yeah, you're going to get some big check.
And he'll be forced out of bounds shy of the line of scrimmage, so that'll be credited as a sack. So it's Packer football here as we welcome you back. They've got a second down now as they look to salt this one away.
Detroit! Detroit! All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
That one looks like he'll throw here. He sets to fire deep. This is caught inside the 15. And finally out of bounds all the way down at about the 2. It's a big play there for Green Bay. 58 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
After the big play, a chance to finish now on 1st and goal.
No. Check. Patriot.
They come out here in the eye. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. And with that scamper into the end zone, it breaks the single-game record for rushing touchdowns.
Amazing. Absolutely amazing. Every variety of run we wanted to see, we got to see. And a brand new record has been established today.
Still an important piece of business to take care of, the extra point. Crosby connects on the extra point, and the lead will swell by one more. Crosby on now to kick it away. This fielded at the 2. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
Lady! Check 59. Mike is 59. Mike to 59.
On second down, here's Stafford. Quick throw that's complete on the inside slant. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. And the quick slant gets exactly 10, and by the nose of the football, they've got a first down. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now, because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Obviously, this has not been a banner game throwing the football. So what you got to do, you got to kind of down focus, don't you think? Find the tight end, take some easier completions.
The interception last drive. There he hits the reliable target. And it's a fumble. And the Packers pick it up. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
You'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. They have the big lead here late. They protected their home turf well, didn't they?
They certainly did, partner. And just think about how good that feels, because every team has a goal when they start the year to win at home. All right, and sometimes you don't win all of them, but they managed to get that done today. Just think about your routine stays the same. Everything's familiar. You feel right going into the game, and they translated that into a win.
They did indeed. They protected the home field, and now the final stages. 10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a first down.
Watch it now, Barney! Barney!
Henry. And he is going to be stopped here at the line of scrimmage, and time is going to expire in this football game. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Packers, they use the favorable early schedule to their advantage as they move to 2-0. And they'll have another home date next week as the Indianapolis Colts come to town. Meanwhile, for Detroit,